Let's look and see how well we can make triangles out of these. Okay. Really? Don't close on me. Okay, so if I grab this one and go like that, and I grab this one and I go like this, it won't let me move it. There we go. Then if I grab this 2 centimeter one, can I make a triangle out of these? Well, no, I can just grab this 6 and just move it. I'm just using 3 straws to make a triangle. I can just move this kind of like this, like that, right? The 2, the 6, and 7 can make a nice triangle, right? Let's make a triangle out of the 10, 3, and 2 then. 10, 3, and 4. Uh-oh. That was like an epic fail, wasn't it? Now, why does a 2 and a 6 and a 7 make a triangle where a 3 and a 4 and a 10 doesn't make a triangle? The 2 side lengths are teensy compared to the base one. That's a pretty good way to describe it. So these two, how do those 3 numbers compare? The 2 numbers with the 1. How does this number compare to these 2 numbers together? So this number is bigger than these 2 added together. And it didn't make a triangle. Where the short 2 here made, this is bigger. 2 and 6 make 8. That's bigger than 7. Where 3 and 4 added up are less than 10. So can we make up a conjecture about this? What's our conjecture about this then, Wyatt? There you go, Bailey. If the 2 shorter side lengths don't add up to be bigger than the longest side, then it won't make a triangle. Okay? So here's a triangle where this is 13, this is 12.93, this is 5.92. So the shorter 2 sides are bigger than the longest side, add up to be longer than the longest side, so it makes a triangle. Okay? So if 2 sides of a triangle are not congruent, okay, this is, we're on to, here, let me go down to here because I wanted to go down to here first. There we go. The triangle inequality theorem. The sum of the lengths of any 2 sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. Okay? So 2 sides added up have to be larger than the other sides. Now, you could take the biggest and the smallest and whatever and make them work. So let's look at this. Does this make a triangle? 19, 18, and 40. No, that will not make a triangle. Does 33, 37, 66 make a triangle? Yes, because the 2 smaller ones are bigger than the biggest ones. Okay, the other thing that we're learning about today with this is, see how 77 is the biggest angle. It's opposite 13. 76 is the second biggest. It's opposite 12.93. 26 is the littlest. It's opposite 5.92. How do they relate to each other? Yep. The biggest angle is opposite the longest side. The medium angle is opposite the medium length side. And the smallest angle is opposite the shortest side. Okay, so that is this. If two sides of a triangle are not congruent, the larger angle is opposite the longer side. The bigger the angle, the longer the side. The smaller the angle, the smaller the side. Okay? So in this little sign, go team, on this shark float, what's the biggest angle, A, B, or C? C is the biggest because it's opposite the 13. 12, A is a medium, and B is a short. Okay? So what are these angles in order of shortest or smallest to largest? These angles, M, N, and P. Which one's the smallest? N is the smallest, then it's M, then it's P. What are these things I wrote in between them? Less than signs. N is less than M, which is less than P. Okay? You'll have to know less than from greater than today. Which side of this triangle is longest? Well, before I can figure out which side's longest, I got to figure out what the other angle is. How am I supposed to find out the other angle? Yeah, they add up to 180. These two add up to 112, so it must be 68 here. So which side is the longest? LM is the longest side. Okay, LM is the longest side. All right, so we talked about the triangle inequality theorem. Now, finding the possible lengths of sides. This is a little more difficult for some people. Are you going to pay attention or are you going to play with that eraser? All right. So, if A is 19 and C is 16, how short can this side be if 19 is the longest side? How short can this side be? What's the shortest it could be? How short? If this is the longest side, these two sides have to add up to be longer than the longest. 4 as a whole number, but it has to be bigger than 3. Okay, it has to be bigger than 3. Because 3.1 in 16 is more than 19, right? So it has to be bigger than 3. Now, if 16 and 19 were the short sides, what would the longest side be? Have to be less than. What do you, if we subtracted to get to here, what do you think we do to get to the longest side? Add. What's 16 and 19? So the biggest side, this mystery side has to be bigger than 3 and less than 35 for it to work. Bigger than 3 and less than 35. So does this make a triangle? Yeah, 11, 8, and 5 make a triangle. So we know that X is the shortest, Y is a medium, and Z is the longest, biggest, because it's opposite the appropriate sides. And then the shorter two sides have to add up to be longer than the longest. So two sides have to add up to be longer than the other side. Okay? So that's what we're doing in the second assignment. Let's get started with that. Pretty easy. We'll have 2 quizzes on Wednesday in one section. 2 quizzes on Wednesday in one section.